Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, the day after the nightmare day.
Right. How did things go? Was there anything out of the ordinary? Doesn't it? I don't want to hear about like, oh, everything was exactly the same as always, because I won't believe that.
Out of the ordinary, there was a sun that like disappeared for a while.
No, I mean inside of the two jobs that you do, was there any eclipse related things?
Well, out of the ordinary, so the Department of Health is on site this week for a 5-day inspection.
No, I mean eclipse related.
No, there's absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing.
Nothing. Not a single person went to the doctor or the ER because of anything eclipse related.
I mean, they might have, but I don't work in the ER.
All right, you don't.
So I mean, I don't know.
And the fire department got no calls based on anything related?
No, we went to, as the engine, we went to 2 calls. One was a car accident well after the eclipse was over. I mean, maybe the guy was looking at the eclipse and was blind without his glasses. I guess that's possible. And another guy who had a diabetic emergency, and maybe he didn't eat enough because he was too busy watching the eclipse. That's possible. One of the fellow firefighters was sick. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he looked likely story. He was watching the eclipse.
Oh, no, she actually came. It was a she, by the way. Firefighters don't have to be men. She came and wrote a couple calls and then was like, asked if she could leave because she was not feeling well.
Was it about the time of the eclipse that she asked if she could leave?
The eclipse happened long before I went to the fire station. The eclipse here was at full totality of 80%.
I was about to say, you didn't get to
was at 2:42 p.m. So I watched it at work, and then went out to the fire station. So no, I did see one news article that made me think of you, and somewhere I guess a pedestrian got hit by a car. I don't even remember where it was at during the eclipse time, and my assumption is it has to do with, you know, the
not paying
attention because of the eclipse. But I saw one person somewhere, and it was some state far away, not close to here.
Fair enough.
No, absolutely nothing. I just don't understand why people would like build up. I don't know what they thought would have happened or what you thought would have happened. I
just know people do stupid things on a regular day. And so if you throw in something out of the ordinary that a lot of people are hyped about, the possibilities for stupid things grows exponentially.
So I agree, but I would agree that maybe more in somewhere in the path of totality. That's probably, it would be a different conversation you'd be having with people.
And I guess everywhere around me was in the path of totality, so maybe it was a bigger deal around here, and that's why.
Yeah. For me, it was not the path of totality at all. I'll be honest, it kind of sucked for, like... So at one point the sun during the totality, like you could tell there was something different about the light,
right?
But that was it. Like you could just be like, oh, it's like cloudy almost without there being clouds, you know, type of deal. And that was pretty much it. So looking at it was kind of cool through the glasses. And what I really liked about the eclipse is like if you walked outside, there was a bunch of people, everybody was sharing their glasses so that everybody who came outside who didn't have any could like experience and take a look. So it was really nice that like it was just bringing like patients were coming outside, family members were coming outside, people who worked there were stepping outside just to see it. Everybody was just like all willing to share and let everybody partake. So I thought that was really cool, but it was cool looking through the glasses, and then it was like, okay, back to work because we didn't get anything crazy. If you didn't know that there was an eclipse, you wouldn't have known that there was an eclipse.
Like, being somewhere where I got to see the total eclipse, I can totally see that. Because, like I remember, so basically for us, when it started, when the moon started finally going across the sun, it's like, you go out, you check it out, you look at it for a few minutes, and then you get back in the shade.
Yeah, because it was hot. It was like 90-some-odd degrees. Like, it didn't feel hot, and I was sweating every time I was outside.
Yeah, it was 99 here.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
So yeah, I'd look at it for a few minutes and then go back in the shade, and then go back like 20 minutes later. It's like, oh look, it's further along. Back in the shade. And then leading up to basically for there's probably like 40 minutes where it was pretty much constantly watching it because it started getting it's really weird the way the light changes, because it's like the light gets vibrant or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know how it looked there, because I don't know at what point that happened here as far as how much of the sun was covered. So I don't know if it got to that point everywhere you are. But there's probably like 10 minutes before it completely like started getting actually dark outside. And it's like the greens were like, it was like almost like some kind of like Technicolor dream or something, where
like a Technicolor dream coat.
It was like everything was just vibrant, like more vibrant than normal, like just a weird color to everything. And then it was pretty cool because the state park we were at was on a pond. So like 15 minutes before like the crickets and stuff started chirping, like all the night creatures started doing their nighttime things.
Oh, that's interesting. So they thought it was going to be nighttime.
Yeah. And then the fish started like feeding more, and then in the 2 minutes that there was totality, like I recorded a little clip with my camera, like the water in the pond was just crazy with fish just feeding, like it was like a feeding frenzy, like I guess they do at nighttime. And then after, bats came out too. And then after the sun started coming back out again, all the morning songbirds started singing too. So it was like they thought, oh, it's morning time now.
You ever had one of those nights where you just shut your eyes because you were so tired and like instantly your alarm was going off? Mm-hmm. Like it felt like instantly to you. That's what these birds, they were, all of them simultaneously were like, time to go to sleep. Damn, that was a quick night. Right, I don't feel rested at all.
Yeah, so it was pretty, I mean, it was like, I had the opportunity to go to Sweden for this Minecraft creator-thon. I can't remember what Mojang called it. Creator Summit. I don't know. But it was this weekend, and I decided not to go for the eclipse. And I was so worried leading up to it, like, man, like, because everyone's tweeting out these pictures of all the shit they're doing in Sweden, and it was like a full paid-for trip. And I was like, man, am I an idiot for staying behind for an eclipse? But I totally don't regret it at all, having now done it.
It was well worth it.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was like, I can go to Sweden anytime, but I don't know when I'll ever be able to see this again and experience it like that.
I'll tell you, it's funny because a lot of people at my work like are not computer savvy at all. It's a very weird thing where a lot of leadership at hospitals just is not really computer savvy, other than getting their job done. Since we were all in a command center for this Department of Health visit that we had, we were all in like one big room together, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like find a way to live stream the eclipse. Like, let's see what's not blocked by our filter. So I ended up finding like YouTube. You can get to YouTube at my work, and NASA was doing their live stream on YouTube. So I put it up on my second monitor in this room, and so everybody was like watching it, and we watched it go across the country, the different areas, and it was really cool to watch it on there. But the NASA stream was definitely a show, and granted we weren't listening to it, but it was like people at a booth talking for a while, and then it would flash back and show like where it was at in different parts of the country and where the eclipse was coming to. And they would bring up like random facts and things like that about the sun, and they would show them in one of those little like speech bubbles or whatever. But every so often the screen would get taken over just by text, and it was asking things like, common questions is what I'm determining that this was, since I wasn't listening to it. The myths about it that they had to answer, and it was like, am I allowed to look at the sun even for just a second? And then like the words would flash away, and they would talk for a little bit, and I'm sure that they were saying, no, you're not supposed to do that, blah, blah, blah. And then it was, well, am I allowed to look at the sun during the part of full totality or whatever? Is it safe to look at the sun at that point? And I don't know what they said, but then I looked at the screen and got so puzzled, because you know what the next question was that they were answering for the folks?
What?
Take a guess. I don't even know if you could get close, but you might.
Can I look at the moon?
Worse.
God. Okay, just tell me.
Is it safe to be outside during the eclipse as long as I don't look at the sun? And I like stared at the screen for a minute to make sure I was reading it right. And then I just looked at somebody who was sitting next to me, and I kind of pointed at the monitor, and she goes, yep, I'm sure somebody legitimately asked that question.
Well, that's what I'm talking about right here. Like, this is why people need to be informed, because there are people that don't know anything. Like, people need help, Jeff.
Is it safe to be outside? It's just like, You're outside every other day. This would be safer than a normal day, right? Because you don't necessarily need as much sunscreen during that couple minutes when the sun is not as...
Well, was it during totality or was it during...
No, it just said, can you be outside during the eclipse as long as you don't look at the sun? Is it safe to be outside?
I mean, I guess the concern, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, the concern is if it's more damaging to your eyes to look at the sun during an eclipse, maybe it's more damaging to your skin to be inside the sun during the eclipse.
It's not more damaging to your eyes to look at the sun during an eclipse. It is
because it's... No, it's not. It's more damaging.
I'm pretty sure it's not more damaging. I think you can just actually, for one, you're going to have more of a reason to look at this. It's like stare directly into the sun. And for two, I think you feel like it might hurt is less, like the painful stimuli might be less, but you're still getting those same rays into your eyes and you're just looking at it for longer because it doesn't feel like it hurts. I've never heard anything. I didn't do any research.
I'm looking this up right now.
I don't.
And the reason why is because I was looking through my little glasses thing before it went to totality. And I kept thinking, oh, okay, it's there. And I pulled my glasses away whenever there was like a second left. And that shit hurt, man. It was so fucking bright. It was like a laser beam in my eye.
Okay, have you ever gone outside and looked at the sun in the sky?
Yeah, I've looked at the sun. Yes, I've looked at the sun. Didn't you? What was that fucking movie that was in black and white and the dude stared at the sun at the start for hours? God, I can't remember that movie now.
Was it like a movie?
Pi? Was it Pi?
Was it Ray Charles?
No.
Something?
God damn it, Jeff.
Trying to think of another famous blind person.
No, I think it was Pi. I think that's the name of the movie. But after seeing that, I definitely stared at the sun.
And did it hurt?
I mean, it hurt, but it did not hurt as much as that millisecond of me looking at the sun right before it went to.
So you got to understand something, too. Think of the physiology behind that. You had your eyes behind such dark sunglasses, essentially, that the only thing you could see was an orange glow through them. Your eyes, therefore, dilated because they were in a dark place. And then you pulled your glasses off and were staring at the sun with completely dilated eyes. Your eyes constrict in light because they don't let as much light in because it's, for one, you can't focus, but for two, it's painful. Have you ever gone to the eye doctor and got your eyes dilated?
Yeah.
Have you then tried to do anything functional outside afterwards?
No. I know what you mean.
I think yeah, you're one of those people that spreads these false rumors.
I just assumed that it sounds because it sounds like it's more, and I still think I'm right.
I never even looked anything up on this because I didn't think that was a question. I didn't think that anybody thought it was more damaging during the eclipse, just that you're staring at it for longer because you think you can. Are you looking it up? I really need to know the answer to this now. I, off the cuff, just came up with a perfectly sound argument for why it's not, and I have no idea if it's accurate or not. I don't know. Maybe there is something about cosmic rays, the way they reflect off the backside of the moon and concentrate or something that I was not aware of. I doubt it, but in theory, possible.
Okay, this is what this person says. The reason a few people always end up going blind during a solar eclipse is that in the partial phase, the visible light is reduced enough that it is no longer painful to look at the sun, and so people assume it's safe. But there's still plenty of UV, and that blinds them. No, your UV shielding Oakleys won't cut it. In a total eclipse, once the moon is completely covered, the sun is 100% safe to look at the naked eye, or even with a telescope. If you can see any part of the sun's actual surface, you need proper protection from the UV.
So did that anywhere say that it was more dangerous or more...
No, I guess it just doesn't hurt as much.
There you go. I said that. That's like one of the things that I said.
But I disagree as someone that looked at it right before, right? Like a second before it went total.
Your eyes were dilated. I'm telling you, there's physiology behind this. Your eyes were dilated, and if you want me to put it in the terms you might understand, and dehydrated. I don't know. It makes perfect sense, Guude. Perfect sense. I want to know in the comments if anybody else was under the same impression that Guude was under. because I'd never heard that before.
That wasn't a scientist answering. That was a Reddit.
I'm also not a scientist, but also neither are you.
Okay.
Are you still trying to research from a scientist?
I am. I'm looking at a Washington Post thread right now, or a Washington Post article. It says, on a sunny day, if you look directly at the sun, you would know to look away after a split second because the pain caused by the brightness. During most of the solar eclipse, the sun will be partially blocked by the moon, making it less bright. This tricks your eyes into being able to look at the sun for extended periods of time. You can stare at the sun during an eclipse for 10 minutes and it doesn't hurt. You can look at it. You can just look at it, and it's really cool to look at. But the whole time, you're literally burning the cells off your retina. Okay, so it sounds like that's you're right. It doesn't hurt.
Damn straight.
Whatever. Clips are stupid.
Science is dumb. I liked science yesterday. I don't like it today. How far did you have to drive to get to Totality?
It was about 5 hours if I drove nonstop. I drove down to Rock Hill, where my mom lives, the night before, though. So there was only like a 2-hour drive from there. So, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, we had a couple people that were actually off work yesterday and came back today because they were on long car trips too.
Yeah, the place that we had reserved at was like a state park, or actually a federal park. And they limited it to 700 people, and I swear there was less than 100 people there. But they had booked it to where they'd cut off reservations, so they had 750 people register, but there definitely was not 750 people there by any stretch of the imagination. So it was pretty dead.
Any cloud cover?
Nope. No, it was a perfect day. Like, there was clouds in the sky, and there was one point whenever like the eclipse had first started that one cloud passed through, but no.
Did everybody like boo?
No, no one really cared, because it was also at that point where I was just like, this isn't the important part. The people that were beside us had brought like all this fucking equipment there. They had like tons of telescopes and stuff, and that was pretty cool because we could all look through they were like sharing their telescopes, and so I got to look at it during the total eclipse through the telescope as well, which was pretty cool, seeing like the the plasma or whatever the fuck it is that's around the sun.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I wish I could see that. One of the people at my work was telling me that a couple weeks ago, because we were outside, like with the whole sharing of sunglasses thing. She was like, "Yeah, I was at I don't know where she went to, if it was a state park or what it was, but she went somewhere a couple weeks before, and there was a guy out there with like 2 or 3 telescopes set up, and there was like a crowd of people like in this big line around like all the telescopes." So she was like, "Sweet, I'm gonna like check out whatever this guy's like showing everybody," because like she was really into science and space and astronomy. And so she waited in line for like 20 minutes until she got up to like the front to be able to see the thing. And apparently, the little kid that was in front of her in line was like, looked at the guy at the telescope and was like, "Grandpa, I think this lady wants to look at it too. Do you think we can let her? Like, this is just all a big family function." And she just thought it was like this guy showing. Like, they did. She said they did let her like look at it all, but she said, "I thought I was waiting in line just because this guy was out like experiencing science with everybody, and it was really this huge family function that she just like walked up into the middle of."
Hey, family.
What's going on? What are you guys doing over here? Where are we going next, guys?
Yeah, the cool spot was you also see like the sunspots on the sun itself through the telescope. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
Where is? I can't
We need
access.
the plant down south.
I only have one tractor available right now. Are they all being taken?
I think so. There's just 2 up here. Well, there's one up here planting. I'm in one of the yellow tractor.
The one's still plowing too.
I'm bringing a yellow tractor down to start planting. Oh, I just rode it. I just fucking rode it.
Hold on. Where you at?
Oh, I did the whole 360. I'm back on my wheels.
Man, I was coming with the fork.
Oh wait, you're already planting right here. I was coming to get this and plant.
Yeah, I was gonna grab a baler and start the actual game.
Well, we probably need to do a second cut, right?
Oh, is that only one cut?
I think so.
Oh, I went through and windrowed it because I wasn't sure. It looked like a decent amount. But yeah, if we're gonna just let it go again, I mean, it takes a lot I mean, it's decent. Yeah, we can do another cut on this thing before we bother with baling. Because otherwise it's just like wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're
just gonna get that planted. We need a second planter maybe for down there.
So this guy. I think
What's
I
that
left
planter
one of these guys full. There we go. Oh yeah, we might have a lot of like stock of stuff. I haven't looked. We haven't sold things in a while, right?
I don't think we do. I looked a minute ago. It didn't look like we had that much of anything. Take a look. See what you think.
Hold on. I'm going to get this guy unloading first. I just moved him to the side and forgot to actually come unload the sunflowers.
So they're coming back tomorrow for my carpet.
Oh, really?
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, we have 69,000 soybeans, and they're selling for almost $2,000 at your favorite place.
Sweet. Okay.
So maybe I will go get that.
Unless we had that much. Should I buy a second planter for down south?
For down south.
It's 121,000 is what those cost.
What the planter does?
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough for it. It's just a matter of. Well, I mean, yeah, we're gonna need one anyway. Because even if we save up to get that $1 million field, we're gonna have to plant it with something.
Yeah. So that seems to be the thing we always wait on is the second planting down here at this point.
Yeah, it's because we have to plow it first, which is
right. All right, I'll buy it. Is this the right one, right?
I don't know.
No, that was more like a rhetorical thing for myself.
There's no answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the right one? Is this planter right for you?
Ask yourself. Side effects may include dry grass.
Oh, do you... This is such a weird question. Do you own a toilet brush?
I used to own a toilet brush. I no longer own a toilet brush.
When was the last time you owned a toilet brush?
Within the last 5 years, I got rid of my toilet brush and started using just a sponge and gloves and throwing the sponge away after.
Okay, so that's the... You already answered the question I was about to ask, is what is your use of a toilet brush?
But now in the past, so I used to have just a toilet brush, like it's a straight up toilet brush. And honestly, you know what? I don't think we ever actually used a toilet brush. It was like decoration. We had this little duck that held the toilet brush, and our whole bathroom was decorated in ducks. But I don't think we ever used that toilet brush, because even when we had that toilet brush, we had this like disposable thing that used like these little clip-on scrubby pads that you used, and you would scrub and then you would dispose of those. So it was like a wand that hung on the side of the toilet, but then the part that did all the scrubbing was disposable.
Okay.
So I don't know that we ever actually used our toilet brush. We just had a decorative toilet brush that was part of this duck. But I guess the disposable pad thing was as close to a toilet brush as you're going to get, because even though the little front part you attached, you used, and you threw it away, you still had this wand that fit inside this.
Right. I know what you're talking about. How often would said wand get used?
Probably twice a month.
So, what was the purpose of this toilet brush substitute?
Scrubbing the toilet.
And I'm assuming this is scrubbing the toilet when you're doing your like normal bathroom cleaning.
Right. Because otherwise you get that ring, the ring where the toilet water sits.
I understand. I've recently found out. I don't know if I found out or it started because I heard a comedian talking about it, and I kind of laughed, and then it spawned a conversation with some people at my fire station that I was like, huh. I didn't ever think about it in that way, and it's funny though, but I have used it in that way, that the toilet brush is not just for the cleaning of your toilet during your standard rounds. It's to be used after just messy goes.
I guess you could do that.
Well, I think that's what the purpose of the toilet brush was, according to these people. That yes,
like every time you take a shit, you clean out with a toilet brush.
Not every time necessarily, but the ones that leave a stain.
I don't have a lot of staining shits.
It depends on what you eat. which E can cause it to stain a little bit more than other times. But I never thought about it that way, that was the purpose. I always, when I grew up, and I think I'm kind of more like you, and nobody ever said this is what you use to clean the toilet. It was just, there was always this thing there in the bathroom. In every bathroom that we had, there was always this toilet brush, decorative in some way, whether it's in one of those little things that just sits on the floor and it just sits in the top of it, like at the floor level, and you can see most of the toilet brush, or one of those ones that like hides the whole thing in like a container, so you can't tell it's a toilet brush, but everybody knows it's a toilet brush. And I guess the thing is, why would you have more than one if they were literally just for the monthly or bi-weekly cleaning of your toilet? Wouldn't you just own one in the entire house that you keep under the sink with the rest of the cleaning supplies?
I guess if you have more than one bathroom, then sure, right?
But, I mean, I guess, yeah, I grew up with more than one bathroom, so I guess maybe
I mean, I have more than one bathroom, too, now.
Did you ever have more than one toilet brush?
Well, you know what? I haven't had more than one bathroom, but for like 6 months, because my daughter's bathroom was always fucked up, and I finally got around to remodeling it and fixing it. So,
yeah.
But I haven't got her a separate toilet brush. That's because I don't use toilet brush anymore. I use a sponge and gloves.
I mean, what are you gonna do when you leave one of those messy ones and you gotta clean up?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you.
Never. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
I've never had my shit not flush.
No, it's not that it doesn't. I'm not saying when it won't flush because it's too big. When it leaves streaks.
I've never had this problem.
Bullshit.
I cannot think of an occasion where I looked down and said, "Oh, wow, it looks like some dirty underwear."
Oh, I'll tell you, I wish there was a toilet brush at work. Not for me, but when I go into the bathroom and there's just streaks all over the bottom of it, because when the shit hits the bottom and flushes down and it leaves that brown streak, I ain't cleaning that toilet at work. I don't know who's been there. But I have to sit on it still.
I don't.
Never.
Does it really matter? It's down there in the water. Like,
it doesn't matter, but it looks gross.
Okay. I mean, you can call bullshit. I can't. I mean, I'm sure maybe it's happened, but I can't. I cannot think of an occasion where I thought, "Ah, man, look at that. What have I done?"
See, I'm thinking at least once every other week or every week, somewhere in that time frame, I would need one.
Really?
Yeah.
I think maybe I got a different set of poop.
Different set of digestive enzymes going on in there.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
my poop is different.
See, and it's funny because I can't really speak too much from a medical standpoint, because people that I'm dealing with in the ED and the ICU, I'm not like going into the bathroom after them if they're able to use the bathroom on their own. I'm just cleaning their shit directly off of their ass. Right.
And then it's all streaks.
Yeah. Oh God. There's so many different types of poops I've cleaned up. You know, you read those people that talk about different poops. I've seen them all.
I'm a poop expert.
Oh God, the ones that are so hard it looks like they're dust, like you crush it and it turn into dust. The ones that are just so liquidy, you wonder how it ever was inside of a butt and not the bladder. Like,
oh my God.
Oh God, all over the place.
I don't need the Forrest Gump rundown.
Oh, ones that smell really, really, really putrid and terrible, and there's just a little teeny bit of it, and ones that don't smell at all, and it's everywhere.
Did you notice how? Isn't it weird how when your son was first born, their poop didn't stink?
It still doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, he's
how
still.
Is he now?
He's 6 months, but he's breastfeeding still, so it's all the same diet, plus a little bit of. Did we lock up?
I did not.
I either did or I derailed the train.
I really hope it's the latter.
It just doesn't move anymore. Hello? Wait. It shot up to 58 miles an hour and then down to 0. And now it's slowly... I don't know what's happening right now.
Is it backing up?
It is backing up now. Hold on, slow it down. Slow it down. I'm going to pass the station. Slow down. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was really weird. We're back. You see, we're up to 214,000 after you bought that thing.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Jesus!
That soybean was good. It was some good pickings.
You know,
that soybean gonna make your poop stick bomb in the toilet.
I'm glad I don't have this problem.
I don't know if I'd call it a problem. More of an experience.
It sounds like it's extra work. You add a whole new level.
Well,
of
think
work
about
in
it.
your
Though.
life.
Think about it. Do you really think somebody made everybody in their home go out and buy toilet brushes for each toilet because it was only supposed to be the toilet cleaner? It seems like it's that. It's just.
You don't want to walk around the house with that. That's just like, I mean, I have a plunger for every bathroom.
Yeah, but you need those. That's the exact point. You have one in every bathroom because when you need the plunger then. You don't want to be like, well, shit, the toilet's clogged. Now I got to go down to the other bathroom and get the plunger and come back.
Well, you need
it
cleaner for every bathroom
you need it
too.
at the moment. No, you don't. You need one poop cleaner if you're doing your just bathroom cleaning.
No.
How many vacuum cleaners do you have in your house? How many rooms do you have that are carpeted? And how many
completely different.
No, it ain't. It's the same thing.
I can't get a word in. If you
I'm gonna keep talking. Just know that I win.
If my vacuum cleaner was constantly cleaning up shit off the floor, I'd have more than one. I think that's the difference. You don't want to walk through your house with the fecal wand.
But you just put it in the and dip it in the water, shake it around a little bit, and then brush your teeth with it.
God,
you're good to go, right?
Can you imagine how dirty the inside of a plunger is too?
Oh, probably extremely.
Like, I got one of those ones that's got like the lips on the front that like kind of get down in there.
Yeah.
So like, I imagine it's worse.
Oh, probably because it's gonna contain. Because the thing is, the lips like when it's stored, you're tipped up inside, right?
Right. Well, no, it's not one of those. This one just kind of stays out. It's like a prolapse anus always.
Oh, interesting. I'm not sure. You know the ones I'm talking about that it folds back in. Those probably like trap water in there, and then the gross thing is you have to reach in.
Mine could fold in, but who does the folding? Who folds that back in?
Yeah, who unfolds it is more of the question.
Right. Exactly. I mean, the first time, that's the thing. You unfold it once, and then you never fold it back up because if you unfold it back up, you gotta unfold it.
But then it's top heavy. I had one of those that was too, like, if you left it unfolded, it wouldn't really stay on. Like, if a slight breeze came in, it would tip over because it became top heavy. It was more stable the other way. But yes, we've had, currently at this house, I actually don't. I'm kind of surprised now that I say that. Haven't had to use one yet either, though. That's either good plumbing or good dieting or something. I don't know.
You got the streaky poops.
Yeah, the streaky poops. That just means, like, too much fat content or something? And they were like, well, no, maybe
probably.
Well, I'm trying to think. If you eat a lot of fat, supposedly your poop floats. I don't know what makes it be streaky.
I don't eat red meat. You think that's my thing?
It could be. It could be. I eat a lot of red meat. So maybe
the red meat causes the streaks.
It's possible. And I'll tell you, my wife isn't necessarily safe from this either. So, yeah, I'm going to put her out there, too, because I'm putting myself out there. But I've definitely walked in the bathroom afterwards and been like, yeah, she should have used the brush.
Yeah, I don't know about this whole... Because the thing is, all right, even if you got the streaks, it goes away. Like 3 flushes in, it's gone.
Yeah, right? And you're right, it will. It's just, why clean the toilet at all then, though?
Well, because otherwise you get the skim line, like the line where the water sits becomes a thing.
Yeah, you just flush it again.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Because even as a guy that pees into the toilet, you can't like piss that skim line away. Like even the streaks, you can kind of piss those away. I've seen them before, and I've pissed them away.
So you've seen them.
I'm talking about public toilets. I know what you're talking about.
See, I don't go piss in public toilets very often that aren't urinals, though. Which then you do always have fun. You always
see, I can't pee in urinals.
Oh, I love urinals, man. It's quick, easy.
I love urinals.
In and out of there. Sometimes you get to piss on Osama bin Laden. Like, it's awesome.
What?
Like that? What? I would just see like the most brilliant advertising technique that they ever came up with was the urinal pads at the bottom of a urinal. They started putting advertisements on them. Somebody started selling ad space on them, and you see them. And one of them was always there was a little picture of Osama bin Laden in the corner, and it said something about like no terrorism. Like it was like a whole a stand against terrorism, and the point was you pissed on Osama bin Laden. So you always aimed your piss right at his face, and you like peed on him.
That sounds fantastic. Again, I don't use urinals though, so I've missed out on the fun of peeing on Osama.
A urinal is the reason that I found out I have a crooked nose. That's an interesting story. There was a bar that we used to go to all the time that I've been to for a long time. I don't know how I never noticed it, but they had a so what do you do when you don't use the urinal, so you wouldn't know. But what do men do when they're at the urinal? You're not like looking around to your neighbor, like being like, "Oh, what up, buddy?" You know, you
sometimes look straight down, right?
Yeah, sometimes you're having a conversation, but yeah, you look down or
have a conversation. God damn, that is nightmare fuel for me.
No, you can talk to people at the urinal.
I absolutely cannot. There was a Minecon. Do you remember the Minecon in Florida? Whenever we all got ushered into a bathroom in between a panel and a signing upstairs. Yeah, that is one of the most anxious moments in my life because I had to pee like nothing ever before, and every one of us had to go in that same bathroom and had to all pee at the same time, and that was one of the worst experiences of my life because right to the left of me was Doc. Even though it wasn't even a urinal, he's sitting there talking to me, and I'm like, if this fucking German does not shut his fucking mouth, if I can pee right now, I'm gonna go crazy. Like, that's the most stressful thing I think I've ever done is peeing in between the panel and the signing.
It's like time management, man. Get some conversations in while you're not doing anything else. Like, I ain't going anywhere for a couple seconds. Like, let's chit chat. Let's talk.
I need alone time with me and my bladder and my bladder's wand.
Well, anyways, I was at this urinal when I normally just stare forward, and this particular place decided to put a mirror on the wall behind the urinal. And I don't know if you realize that when you put a mirror on the wall behind a urinal, your face is much closer to it than you are a standard bathroom mirror when you're in the bathroom, because there's the whole sink level that you're away from, so it's like 2 feet or whatever. I don't know if it's really 2 feet. It's probably not that big, but at a urinal, it's like you're like 6 inches out from the wall, and your nose is like just a couple inches because the mirror sticks out the wall a little bit too. So it's like 3 inches away, and I'm staring at myself. And I looked down at my nose, and I was like, what the fuck? And I started turning my head a little bit left and right, and I walked out of the bar, because I walked out and I sat down, and I was like, guys, I can't believe this. I just realized something terrible. And everybody's like, what? And I was like, my nose is crooked. And everybody that I was sitting there with goes, yeah, we knew that. I had no idea until I was 22 years old that my nose was crooked.
Jesus.
It's not super crooked. That's the thing. If you just looked at a picture, you wouldn't be like, that guy's got a crooked nose. But if you look like straight onto my face, you see it curves a little bit to the left. And I found that out because I stared myself in the face and was like, what the fuck? I'm hideous.
I'm hideous.
Terrible.
Oh, wow.
Yep. That's it. That is what it is. Oops. Are we, in growing phase again?
Up. Okay. Yeah, we are. I guess we could stop it here. We can leave it off with your crooked nose.
All right, guys. You heard it here first. I have a crooked nose.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.